Hello, hello, my loves. How are you today? Let's go ahead and dive in to a nice transmission. Have you ever been rejected? Have you ever felt the wound of abandonment and the sting that leaves you with afterward? I'm willing to bet there's parts of you that have been carrying that with you and through your life experience since it happened. So the intention for this particular transmission, this little mini light code boost, is to help you unravel where those stuck points are inside of your own body that are activated by the words or the frequency of abandonment or rejection. Now, as I'm speaking to that, I'm feeling another little thing come up. And let's also throw into the mix just the toxicity of narcissistic abuse patterns. So generally, rejection or abandonment is like a single event, right? We're either rejected or we feel abandoned. Now, when we talk about abuse patterns, it's when that circumstance continues to happen and it breeds this intermittent reward type of behavior. So they've done studies on this with different rats about, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but where they'll go and pull a lever, and when food comes out consistently, the rat then knows that they can go and it's going to be there. Now, when they've done it, when they've pulled the lever and it's intermittent or unpredictable that food will come out, or that it's inconsistent, the rat actually starts to develop what we would call addictive pattern and addictive behaviors, meaning the fear of that love being consistent, or the fear of that love, or we're talking about a pellet, but obviously you can see where I'm going with this, that if we see that as where our behavior starts going back to this intermittent or non-consistent pattern that is not a stable flow of love, right? If we know that the love is going to be there, or if the rat knows that the pellet is going to be there, the nervous system within is calm and stabilized because you can trust the consistency of what is available. Of course, in an experience of rejection or abandonment where all of a sudden that's gone, there's a whole other circumstance or situation. But if we're going back and forth on, okay, well, intermittently it's available and intermittently it's not, then we can start to see where the nervous system within starts to create either an anxious attachment style or avoidant attachment style. So those patterns exist within us by means of survival, but they exist within the nervous system. So when we go into reconciling these things, and we go into this little transmission that we are about to do, and also using EFT or tapping techniques to allow the system to release, to find those points or places where it can release. Your past does not have to define you. Yes, of course, experiences leave imprints. It's how we learn. It's how we shape our world differently from that point forward. But if what has happened is an imprint has left like a trauma mark, and then the subconscious keeps trying to recreate it to be able to reconcile or heal that, what we want to do is focus on being able to identify that and then resolve it within. So let's go ahead and take a couple nice big deep breaths. Anchoring the grounding cord within from your root chakra right there at the base of your spine all the way down to the center of the earth. So I'm going to go ahead and also anchor in, making sure that your spine is straight as you can feel that release. So the grounding cord in essence is like your shower drain or your sink drain. It gives your field, your frequency, a place to be able to release. and let go. So as we talk about these patterns, and our theme specifically is finding that stability of the relationship within ourselves. That will help us to reconcile the stability in the dynamic of what we are attracting in our interpersonal relationships. So, as we call in divine truth and love into this sacred space, we invoke the highest possible healing for each and every viewer, replayer, and myself. We ask for the courage and compassion to speak and to hear from the purest form of self-love and forgiveness to all involved. As you feel into your own physical body, go ahead and body scan and see where you see the energy of these patterns that are creating toxic loops of fear or internal abuse patterns, any breaks in consistent action, or any patterns of self-sabotage. So simply just scan where you see that in your body. And if you can very simply and easily just connect that into your grounding cord. Allow it to flow all the way down from your root chakra to the center of the planet. And simply feel what you feel. Notice what you notice. And take a moment to focus on your desired outcome. What is it that you want to receive, and what is it that you want to experience through this clearing? Asiatarona wapuna kai I hiatara hi ikiono uapukua. Aya tunono kapu sutrona haakiatara I hiatara unapunaka. Ia kiatara nia wapuaka siatara haanaya ia kiatara. I kioko no kuapukuatara ana kuapua haakiatari. Ia siotrono amona kai. Aya kiatara hi iona oapuaka akarai. I anaya wa uapuaka. I anaya awapunaka. I siatarai ia kiotrunu wapunaka akarai ia kiasa. I kua uanaya ia wapuaka. And connect your root chakra all the way down to the center of the earth. Creating that solid connection. Just feel in your body what it would feel like to have the spaciousness of these patterns resolved. And so instead of using your mind, what you're doing is you're asking your body to expand into the intelligence of what it would feel like to already have these patterns resolved within. Breathe, illuminate the light of your own consciousness, the light of your own higher self, to any of those pockets or any of those areas where you see inconsistencies. And go ahead and allow the light of your divinity, the light of your higher self, that internal illumination, if you think of it like a Christmas lights, where one Christmas light goes out and the whole line goes out. What we want to do is to create complete circuits of energy within our own meridian systems. So if we've had a knock, If we've had an emotionally challenging imprint happen, we want to be able to go and repair that one simple area so that the entire circuit can illuminate and flow consistently. And so go ahead and just simply ask yourself, what would it take to create consistent and stable flow of energy through your inner circuitry? And the first thing that comes to mind is the first action step that's going to help you create that consistent and stable flow within. For me, I simply go for a daily walk. And sometimes that's all it takes. It doesn't need to be something that's complicated or complex or very intricate. So going for a walk is going to help clear my mind. It's going to help move energy through my own body. It's going to help de-stress. As I'm building the foundation for an international movement, there's a lot of energy that goes into it. And so I'm simply sharing that as an example, that we don't need to overcomplicate. Yes, I see in the comments, but then I'll have to quit my vices. That's the point. If we can change our actions to create greater inner circuitry and security within, to have a secure relationship and a stable relationship within ourselves, because it builds greater confidence that we have our own back and that we are not sabotaging our own flow, our own consistency, then it allows for the room of that inner heart healing to take place. Because when we have healed the relationship with ourselves, we're no longer codependent. We're no longer practicing these subconscious patterns of sabotage. And we're able to see the truth of how we relate to ourselves that shows up in the world of everything it is that we are creating, in relationships, in creativity, in our physical exercise. All of these things are components of how we relate to ourselves that actually show a consistency in the inner dynamics of our own inner world. So that's why when we focus on this inner healing and we allow ourselves to be really compassionately honest with what is going on, then we can go in and we can repair. The repair in and of itself builds self-confidence. It builds inner self-confidence that helps you to take bigger calculated risks if that's the direction that you're going in, because you know that you'll always land on your feet, and you'll know that whatever it is that takes place, you can overcome. So when you're able to do that, it's not simply about taking bigger risks that are going to land you in bigger trouble. It's more about taking bigger risks that offer and create a more consistent and bigger reward for what it is that you are creating. And so the openness and that clarity of who it is that you came here in this world to be, in the fullness of your capacity to expand, which if you're watching this, you are a light worker. If you're watching this, you are already on your path of conscious awakening. We need you. And I say we as in the entirety of the global population. We need more embodied light workers, and we need more embodied way showers that are here to help the evolution of human consciousness return to the divinity within. There are many different pathways to this divinity within. If it works, it works. This is not a place to judge or simply say who's right and who's wrong. The illumination of the divinity within happens on many different paths. So with that, here at Monad, what we focus on is the healing of the heart, the consciousness of the heart, the awareness of the heart. The heart is where we store our soul memories. Your soul has had many, many experiences before incarnating in this form. That's why you're naturally good at certain things. The wisdom of that comes from the space within your heart. So when we focus on heart healing, when we focus on heart wisdom and heart consciousness and the true interconnectedness from heart to our egoic consciousness, heart and our intuition, we're able to see how it is that we are expanding in the pure form of our own expansion of consciousness. The ripple effect of that is so, so, so powerful. So if you are a visionary, if you know that you have a divine purpose to serve others, if you have a desire to help others, or if you have an idea to expand consciousness and you want to be able to make that your full-time sustainable career and legacy, then let's have a conversation. We have a group program, an opportunity to expand in your own inner healing, as well as the expansion of what you're creating and putting out in the world. So that's called Rise. If you watch any of my recent videos, you've heard me talk a little bit more about it. But if that feels right to you, go ahead and click the link in the description. You can even check out the free Quantum Leap handbook that will share a bit of information with you about Rise. I want to say thank you so much for joining me here today. Let's go ahead and take a couple nice big deep breaths. Continuing that connection from your root chakra all the way down to the center of Mama Gaia. Io tarai, io nukua pusuku nukua haya ia kia tarai. Haya tarai ia kia tarai. Trusting that everything is happening in divine right action, in divine right timing, that you are right where you are meant to be. And with that, my friend, thank you so much for liking this video, commenting, subscribing, playing the algorithm game with me so that we continue to boost these experiences so that more of our conscious brothers and sisters can find and connect with me here and Monad, the project of what it is that we are creating, a magic school for intuitive entrepreneurs. And with that, I'm sending so much love from my heart to yours. I appreciate your presence here and look forward to getting to know you soon. Mwah! Ciao, ciao!